Have you ever felt a gentle tingling at the very top of your head? A whisper of warmth that seems to come from nowhere? What if that wasn't random, but a doorway? Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine a soft, golden light hovering above the crown of your head, about where a halo might rest in an old painting. Now take a slow breath in through your nose, and let it fall out through your mouth. As the breath leaves, feel that golden glow sink just a little closer, touching your skin like sunlight through silk. Most people rush past this spot every day, brushing their hair, washing, wearing hats, never realizing that this tiny circle at the very top of the skull is one of the most sacred points in the human body. Ancient traditions called it the crown gateway. Modern science calls it the meeting place of thousands of nerve endings, vessels, and subtle energy channels that link your brain to your body's deepest currents. The ancient Upanishads spoke of 1,000-petaled lotus blooming here, a symbol of pure consciousness. In the language of the body, it's where the vagus nerve, the great river of calm, begins its journey downward, carrying messages of peace through the spine and heart. When this spot is still and open, energy moves like honey, steady, nourishing, divine. But when it's closed or tense, from worry, from old grief, from the noise of everyday life, that flow weakens. We begin to feel disconnected, not just from spirit, but from ourselves. Have you ever noticed how a small act, pressing your palms together, bowing your head in prayer, or feeling someone's hand rest kindly on your hair, can bring tears to your eyes? That's the crown responding. It remembers. The neuroscientist Dr. Andrew Newberg, in his book How God Changes Your Brain, wrote, "Spiritual experience is not about believing in God. It's about experiencing the brain's capacity for unity." He found that when people meditate on light above the head, the parietal lobes, which define where you end and the world begins, grow quiet. The boundary dissolves, and that feeling of unity, of oneness, floods the body. Ancient wisdom meets gentle science, and they both whisper the same thing. This spot is not just bone and skin. It's a receiver. Imagine you are standing under a soft golden shower of light. As it touches the crown, let your breath slow to a rhythm that feels natural, maybe a count of 4 in, 4 out. Each breath opens that space a little more. You don't need to try, just allow. Some call it the Sahasrara chakra, others the fontanelle gate, the soft place once pulsing in us all as infants before the skull hardened. Perhaps that openness was never meant to close. Perhaps it was meant to remain a hidden antenna between heaven and flesh. The mystic Paramahansa Yogananda, in Autobiography of a Yogi, wrote, "When the breath becomes still, the door of the crown opens, and the soul remembers its native sky." Notice how he doesn't speak of effort, but of remembrance. This practice is not about creating something new. It's about returning to what was always there. Now, gently bring one finger to the very top of your head, the place where the lines of your skull would cross if drawn from ear to ear and forehead to back. Press lightly, as though touching sacred ground. Hold for a breath, then release. Do you feel that subtle hum, that spark, maybe a warmth blooming downward? That's your nervous system responding. Pressure here stimulates the trigeminal and occipital nerves, which signal the brain to release endorphins, your natural serenity chemicals. In spiritual language, this is the descent of grace. In science, it's the activation of parasympathetic calm. Either way, it feels divine. You may notice memories rise or a sudden wave of emotion. That's normal. Energy follows awareness. When you touch the crown with presence, old currents awaken, moving through the spine like rivers thawing in spring. Now, I want to ask you, where are you watching this from right now? Because no matter the city or time zone, this golden light above your crown connects us all in the same invisible web of energy. When you feel it, you're not alone. You're part of a silent congregation that stretches across hearts, across screens, across the breath itself. For a moment, rest there. Let your shoulders drop. Let the golden light spill gently through your body. pooling in your chest, softening your breath, anchoring you here. This is the first key in the journey we call the spine gospel, learning to reopen the gates that once connected heaven and human, mind and marrow. If this simple moment made you feel even a hint of warmth or peace, I'd love to know. Tap the like button or tell me in the comments what you felt when you pressed that crown spot. Every experience adds another note to this shared symphony of light. Stay with this feeling for a moment. That soft hum at the top of your head, it isn't your imagination. It's the beginning of a circuit. Your body is not just flesh and bone. It's a living network of bioelectric energy. Every heartbeat, every breath, every thought sends invisible currents through you. And the crown, the soft point at the top of the skull, is like the main antenna. It's where energy from above meets the nervous system below. Modern science calls this field around your body the biofield, a measurable electromagnetic environment that extends several inches beyond your skin. It's been studied in institutions like the National Institutes of Health, where researchers found that our heart and brain emit magnetic signals strong enough to affect those around us. Ancient mystics simply called it the aura. Now imagine this: when you press or focus awareness on the crown, you're not just touching skin, you're tuning your receiver. You're aligning your brain's electrical rhythms with the pulse of your own heart. And when those rhythms sync, something beautiful happens. The entire spine lights up. In Energy Medicine, The Science and Mystery of Healing, by Donna Eden, she describes this crown-to-spine connection beautifully. Energy moves like light down a fiber, traveling through the spinal cord, reaching every organ. When the crown opens, the light of consciousness descends through every cell. Think of your spine as the trunk of a tree, roots deep in the earth, branches rising toward the sky. The crown is the topmost leaf, drinking in sunlight. When that leaf opens, the light travels downward through every branch, every fiber, until even the roots feel the warmth. Scientifically, this mirrors what neurologists call the corticospinal pathway, the communication highway between your brain and body. When calm signals descend from the brainstem, they guide your heart rate, your digestion, even your immune system. It's how peace in the mind becomes health in the body. Ancient yogic texts called this same current the Sushumna Nadi, the central channel of divine flow running through the spine. Both the mystic and the scientist agree. The crown and spine are not separate. They are one continuous river of light and nerve. Take a slow breath now. As you inhale, picture light entering through your crown, like warm sunlight dripping into the top of your head. As you exhale, imagine that light traveling down the spine, vertebra by vertebra, until it pools gently at the base. Do it again, slowly. The crown glows. Out the spine softens. You might feel a subtle shift, maybe warmth, maybe tingling, maybe a quiet sense of being more whole. That's your parasympathetic system activating, your body's built-in healing state. In simple terms, your body is remembering peace. The physician, Dr. Bruce Lipton, in The Biology of Belief, wrote, "The moment you change the field, you change the cell. When you open your crown and align your breath, you're changing your inner electromagnetic field, which in turn changes how your cells behave. Energy influences biology. Spirit speaks through science, and there's something else happening here too, something deeply emotional. When energy flows freely down the spine, old stagnation begins to move. You might notice tears, sighs, or deep relaxation. That's not weakness. That's release. Think of it like unclogging a river. When the crown opens, the waters of consciousness finally move again, carrying away what's been heavy for too long. Grief, fear, fatigue all begin to dissolve in the current of light that travels from the top of your head down to the soles of your feet. Now imagine millions of tiny nerve filaments running down your spinal cord, each one like a golden thread. Each thread carries messages of safety, balance, and connection. When the crown awakens, it sends a signal to those threads. You are not alone. You are part of something vast. It's almost poetic that the soft spot on a newborn's head, the fontanelle, is the same area we touch now as adults to reawaken that connection. Life begins open, then we forget. This practice is the remembering. You might be wondering, can something so simple really affect my whole nervous system? Let your own experience answer that. After this video, take a few quiet minutes. Sit somewhere peaceful. Press the crown spot gently again. Breathe slowly. Notice how your heart rate changes, how your shoulders soften, how your breath deepens without trying. That's science. That's spirit. They've never truly been apart. In the Field, by Lynn McTaggart, she wrote, "We are not separate entities, but vibrating strings of energy in a vast quantum web." When you open the crown, you tune into that web, not as a concept, but as a living feeling. Your spine becomes the instrument, your breath, the bow that plays it, and your awareness, the silent music of the soul. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, place your hand on the crown and breathe. You are literally resetting your nervous system. You are reminding every cell that it belongs to light. And as we continue, I'll show you exactly how to perform this technique, step by step, so that your body learns to reopen this sacred current anytime you need it. But before we move deeper into the practice, tell me something. When you pressed that crown spot earlier, did you feel warmth? Or maybe a pulse? Let me know in the comments what sensation came through you. Because the more we share these subtle experiences, the more others learn that this divine energy is not fantasy, it's physiology. Now that you understand the connection between the crown and the spine, let's bring it into your body. This part isn't about belief, it's about feeling. Because the moment you feel the crown awaken, something within you remembers. So find a quiet space. Maybe you're sitting in your favorite chair or resting on your bed. Allow your spine to be straight but relaxed, like a tall candle flame that moves gently with the breeze. Rest your feet flat on the floor, palms open on your lap. Now take a slow breath in and let it out through your mouth. Do that 2 more times, just to tell your body that it's safe to rest. Good. Now bring your awareness to the very top of your head, that tender area you might call the crown. If you're unsure where it is, imagine drawing a line from one ear over the top of your head to the other ear, and another line from your forehead to the back of your skull. Where they cross, that's your crown point. Step 1. The gentle touch. Lift your right hand and bring 2 fingers, your index and middle, together. Gently touch that point on your crown. Don't press too hard. It's not about force, it's about connection. As you touch, breathe in slowly through your nose. On the exhale, imagine that breath traveling down your spine, a warm stream of light moving from the top of your head to the base of your spine. Do it again. Inhale, exhale. If your eyes want to close, let them. This is your private conversation with your own nervous system. You might begin to feel a tingling under your fingers or a sense of warmth spreading outward like sunlight through water. That's your brain and your body starting to talk again. Tiny electrical messages flowing through the crown, down the neck, into the heart. The energy isn't imaginary. It's bioelectricity, real and measurable. As Dr. Joe Dispenza writes in Becoming Supernatural, where you place your attention is where you place your energy. The brain follows focus like a compass needle to magnetic north. When you bring your attention to the crown, energy follows, reorganizing itself along the spine. Step 2, the breath of light now. Remove your fingers, but keep your awareness there, at that glowing spot above your head. Take another slow breath. As you inhale, imagine golden light pouring in through that point, as if a soft sun were shining directly into your skull. Hold the breath gently for a moment. Then exhale, letting that golden light drip downward through your spine, vertebra by vertebra. Each breath becomes a circuit. Light in, peace out. Do this 3 or 4 times. If you feel dizzy, slow down. It's simply your body adjusting to the increased oxygen and energy. With each breath, imagine that golden river widening, filling the channels between your bones, traveling through your chest, your belly, all the way to the base of your spine. You are reconnecting heaven and earth inside your own body. Step 3, the heart bridge. Now bring one hand to your heart, keeping your awareness on the crown. Can you feel that subtle bridge forming, crown to heart, light to love? In The Heart Math Solution by Dr. Childrey and Howard Martin, they explain, when heart and brain rhythms synchronize, the body enters a state of coherence, a measurable harmony of emotion, thought, and energy. That's exactly what's happening now. Your gentle touch and breath are aligning the crown's electrical rhythm with your heart's magnetic pulse. It's the science of serenity. So as you inhale, imagine golden light entering through your crown. As you exhale, imagine it glowing in your heart. Repeat this 3 times, slow, rhythmic calm. You may feel an emotional release, perhaps a sigh or even a few tears. Let them come. That's your nervous system unclenching, your energy body expanding to hold more light. Step 4. The flowing descent. Now visualize this energy continuing its journey down the spine, through the solar plexus, into the belly, the hips, the legs, all the way to your feet. This is where the divine becomes human, where energy transforms into action, clarity, health. With each breath, the current grows stronger, smoother. Your crown remains open, your spine alive, your breath the bridge between worlds. As the mystic poet Rumi once wrote, "You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. Right now, that ocean is moving through you, guided by your awareness, awakened by your touch." Step 5. The quiet pause. Now stop doing anything. Just rest in stillness. No breath control, no visualization. Just feel. You might sense a soft pulse at the crown, a warmth in the spine, or a glow in the chest. Whatever it is, let it be. This pause allows the nervous system to integrate what just happened. In this silence, energy becomes memory. Your body learns. The philosopher Deepak Chopra in Quantum Healing wrote, "Healing happens in the space between thoughts, where pure awareness rests. This moment, this space of no effort, is that healing." Now take one last deep breath. Inhale through the crown. Exhale down through the spine. Smile softly. You've just opened one of the most sacred circuits in the body. A current that has been described in every wisdom tradition, from yoga's Sushumna to Christianity's descent of the Holy Spirit. Different names, same light. Before we continue, notice how you feel now compared to when you started. Do you sense more calmness? A little more space behind your thoughts? Maybe a subtle vibration in your fingertips or scalp? All of this means your crown spine circuit is alive. You can return to this practice any time, morning before your day begins, or at night when the world quiets. The more you practice, the faster your body will remember this open state. Eventually, just one breath will be enough to reactivate the flow. Now, stay with this energy as we move deeper into the next layer, the emotional and spiritual effects that begin to unfold once the crown remains open. Because what happens next isn't just physical. It's the transformation of your entire inner landscape. Stay here for a moment. Still, soft, aware. You've just touched the crown of your own consciousness. And when the crown opens, something extraordinary begins to unfold from within. At first, it might feel simple, a wave of calm, a quiet mind, maybe a subtle tingling at the top of the head. But if you listen closer, you'll notice the changes are deeper than peace. They reach into the emotional body, the part of you that carries memory, meaning, and faith. When energy flows down from the crown into the heart, old patterns begin to melt. Worries lose their sharp edges. Grief softens into understanding. You might find yourself remembering moments long forgotten, not to relive them, but to release them. The nervous system, once caught in loops of defense, finally exhales. The spiritual teacher Michael Singer, in The Untethered Soul, described this moment as, "The heart begins to open when you are no longer afraid of what flows through it." That's what the crown practice awakens, a gentle courage to let everything flow. Again, many who practice this daily describe a subtle joy arising for no reason at all. They begin to notice beauty in ordinary moments, the color of morning light, the rhythm of breathing, the stillness between words. This joy isn't loud or dramatic. It's like the soft hum of life itself, returning to awareness. Physiologically, what's happening is profound. By stimulating the crown, you activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which calms your heartbeat and lowers stress hormones like cortisol. Blood flow increases to the prefrontal cortex, the area of the brain responsible for clarity, empathy, and spiritual insight. It's as if the body begins to speak a language of light instead of survival. You might also experience something subtle yet sacred, a sense of connection, not just to yourself, but to something larger. A presence that feels ancient, familiar, and kind. Some call it God, others the source, the field, the universe, the Great Mother. Names differ, but the feeling is the same. Belonging. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine that golden light above your crown widening, becoming an open sky. As it expands, you may sense that everything you've ever loved, everything you've ever lost, still lives within that light. There is no separation, only remembrance. The mystic Eckhart Tolle in The Power of Now wrote, "Awareness is the space in which thoughts exist." When you rest as that awareness, suffering dissolves. When the crown opens, you begin to rest in that space, the space beyond thoughts, beyond striving. It's not an escape from life, but a deeper participation in it. In scientific terms, this is called neural coherence, when brain waves across both hemispheres begin to synchronize. It feels like clarity, not the kind that comes from thinking, but the kind that comes from simply being. It's the moment the chatter quiets and intuition speaks. Some people describe spontaneous emotions during this phase, sudden laughter, tears, even bursts of creative inspiration. That's the energy of the crown clearing its pathways through the heart and mind. You may feel drawn to paint, to sing, to write, to move your body gently. Follow those impulses. They are your spirit's way of expressing freedom through matter. Remember, the spine is not just a column of bone. It's a riverbed for divine electricity. When the crown sends light through it, each vertebra becomes a note in the great symphony of your being. Sometimes the music stirs emotions that were long silent, memories of love, pain, or awe. Let them rise and dissolve. They are part of the song. The psychologist Carl Jung once said, "Enlightenment is not imagining figures of light, but making the darkness conscious. The crown's light reveals that darkness, not to harm you, but to heal you." You may begin to notice hidden fears coming into awareness, fear of aging, of loneliness, of time. Don't run, breathe, because the light that reveals also dissolves. And as it does, what remains is something very pure, presence, acceptance, peace. There's another shift that often follows, a deep sense of gratitude. Not the forced kind, but an effortless gratitude that feels woven into the breath. Every inhale feels like a gift. Every exhale a quiet thank you. This is what happens when the nervous system moves out of survival mode and into sacred receptivity. You begin to feel guided, as if life itself is whispering directions through intuition, coincidences, or gentle knowing. You might notice you wake earlier, sleep deeper, smile more easily. Food tastes richer. Music feels alive again. These are not mystical fantasies. They are physiological effects of harmony between crown and spine. The energy that once stayed trapped in overthinking or anxiety now circulates freely through your body. Your heart rhythm stabilizes. Your immune system strengthens. Your breath slows. You are literally healing through alignment. Now take a moment to check in. Since you began watching, how has your body changed? Is your breathing slower? Are your shoulders softer? Do you feel a lightness that wasn't there before? This is the proof, not in theories or scriptures, but in your own experience. Your body doesn't lie. It knows when something true is happening. In this space, many find a spiritual emotion that words can't quite capture, a blend of awe, humility, and love. It's the feeling that arises when you realize you are both human and divine at once. That the energy moving through you is the same energy that moves the stars. This practice over time doesn't just bring moments of calm. It reshapes your inner reality. It makes forgiveness easier. It makes presence natural. And most beautifully, it makes aging sacred, because you begin to feel not decline, but deepening, as this current continues flowing through the days ahead. Remember, your crown is not a switch you turn on once. It's a living portal. Each time you breathe with awareness, you water that light. Each time you rest your hand upon your head in gratitude, you remind your nervous system of its divine design. And as this golden current continues weaving through your life, a new pattern begins to form, one of peace, compassion, and quiet strength. Before we move into how to live this energy daily, I'd love to know something from you. When you pressed your crown earlier and felt that energy begin to flow, what emotion rose first? Was it peace, tears, joy? Share it in the comments below. Your words might become the mirror someone else needs to recognize their own awakening. The secret of this practice isn't in a single moment of awakening. It's in the quiet repetition of it. Each time you press the crown, breathe, and remember, you're reminding your body that divinity is not distant. It lives here, in the cells, in the pulse, in the spaces between thoughts. To make this your daily rhythm, begin in simplicity. When you wake in the morning, before reaching for your phone or thoughts, bring your palm to the top of your head. Press gently, not as a ritual of effort but of remembrance. Breathe in through the crown as if you're inhaling sunlight. Let that golden breath flow down your spine, touching every nerve, every joint, every quiet space within. Do it for 1 minute. That's all it takes to begin rewiring the nervous system to trust light instead of tension. Over time, that minute will expand naturally into longer breaths, softer mornings, calmer nights. As weeks pass, you may notice your body adapting to a new frequency. Moments of irritation fade faster. You recover from stress more easily. Dreams become vivid, creative, and sometimes prophetic. Not because something supernatural is happening, but because the mind is learning to listen again. You'll find that pressing the crown isn't about reaching upward. It's about returning inward. It reminds you that guidance is not external. It rises through you, like sap through a sacred tree. The more you nurture this current, the more your daily actions, walking, speaking, eating, working, begin to align with grace. You start living as though the crown light is always open, always breathing through you. And in that awareness, every gesture becomes a prayer. Every breath, a bridge between heaven and earth. So let the practice follow you through the day, in small pauses, gentle breaths, silent gratitude. You don't need incense, mantras, or special settings. Only a hand, a breath, and a willingness to remember, because the divine isn't waiting above you. It's been flowing through you all along. Close your eyes for a moment. Let the last breath you took echo softly within you. Notice how the body feels. Lighter, calmer, almost translucent, as if the air itself has become gentler in your presence. This is not coincidence. This is remembrance. The crown you touched, the breath you followed, the golden light you saw, all of it was never separate from you. It was you. The body, the mind, the energy, they've been waiting to realign, to speak to each other again after years of silence. In the ancient Vedic texts, it was said that the crown is the 1,000-petaled lotus, each petal a thought, a memory, a life. When you open it, you don't escape the world. You bring heaven into it. You allow divinity to breathe through the ordinary, through your morning coffee, your smile, your touch, your stillness. Some traditions call it Christ consciousness. Others call it Sahasrara. Science may call it neuroplastic regulation, but words are only paths. The truth is what you just felt. That sacred moment when the mind grew quiet and your spine hummed with soft electricity, that was divine communication. That was life remembering itself through you. And maybe that's all spirituality really is. Not an escape, not an achievement, but a return. A return to what was always sacred, always present, always yours. So as this video fades, I want you to ask yourself, when you touched your crown tonight, what did you feel? Was it warmth? Was it peace? Was it something you can't name but somehow recognize? Tell me in the comments what your experience was. This community, the Spine Gospel, is built on those reflections, on shared awakenings, on remembering together. Your story might be the light someone else needs to find their way home, and if this journey touched you, let it continue. There's more to explore, more hidden wisdom in your own body, more ancient energy waiting to rise. Stay close to this space, not as a follower, but as a fellow traveler. Each week we'll go deeper, into the sacred mechanics of the spine, the heart, the breath, and the light that animates it all. If this helped you feel calm, imagine what's waiting in the next breath you take. So breathe, and let the crown light stay open, even after this video ends. This is the Spine Gospel, where your body remembers its divinity, and your breath becomes the prayer that never ends.